Hey there, before I start this video, I wanted to make sure I set a goal for this channel. If I reach 100 subscriptions on YouTube, I'll take the time to buy a booster box of the most current Pokemon TCG packs and do a showcase video of it. I'll be giving away cards to you if you also sub to me on Twitch. For each of you that sub to me on Twitch, I'll provide the digital cards to you. Not only that, but I will also be doing a physical trading card giveaway to any of you lucky ones. The digital card from the pack is my way of saying everybody's a winner. Another thing is you can gift subs to me on Twitch. If you do that, then you get an X number of digital cards for every sub that you give, and of course will increase your chances of winning the giveaway. This is just a plan and idea, but if you feel that you want to get involved, then go to the link below the description. Also, do not forget to join my Discord to be up to date, and it will all be in the description below. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and check out some Pokemon that are worth noting when going against Cinderace. I did take a chance to get a few Pokemon that I saw from the past experience I have with the Cinderace, right? But I just hope that it is useful for you, to get the idea of how to beat Cinderace. We can start with Dash Bun, where you can see its stats and everything. The focus to the raid is going to be based on its defense. So the higher the defense, the harder it is for Cinderace to knock you out. And of course, well, there are times when you do have to work on HP and everything, but everything will work in the end. So there is Dash Bun. We got Toxapex, high on defense. Armor Rogue. This is more on the special attack, defense, HP side. A little bit more aggressive, but it should do the trick. I think I did that right. Okay. And then I think the other one is Espathra, which I will probably show on our Team Builders site. Of course, if you don't know about this website, you can always go to smogon.com. It gives you the idea of what Pokemon you can look into and see if you want to build a team and all that. The only thing is that you just have to make sure you go to the Team Builder website. I think you can go to the part where you can look it up like that, Smogon University, then it would take you right here. And if you want to, look up Pokemon, you go right here, do what I did, look it up, and then it should help you from there. And then if you want to do team building or team builder, you just have to go to the team builder, or you can say PokemonShowdown.com. And what you do is you go right here, create a team to build, and it would give you the option to do that. So now let's go ahead and look up at these Pokemon that I'm talking about, and so that you can get the idea of how everything goes to play. I mean, it could be any nature could be set, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna start with Armor Rogue, and of course go have it level 100. It can actually hold any item. I just put leftovers just for fun, but any item will do. The most important focus about this is when you have Iron Defense, Store Power just in case, Clear Smog, which is very helpful against Cinderace, because what Cinderace will do most of the time will be using Bulk Up. It will use it about 2 or 3 times, even multiple times, and having its attack go up is pretty scary, as well as its defense. So only best way to counter it is to use Clear Smog once or twice, so that it can clear the stat board for Cinderace. And then you do have Acid Spray, which is also pretty useful. So if you know that there is a Pokemon that is using special attacks to finish off Cinderace, let's just give an example, Slowbro. And what Slowbro will do is to stack up Iron Defense, then Nasty Claw, then Store Power. It is actually useful when you have Armor Rogue to do Acid Spray or Toxapex to do Acid Spray. It's pretty helpful. I've been having some experience and I feel like that Acid Spray is pretty useful against Cinderace. Special defense by 2, knocking it down by 2 is pretty good to go against Cinderace. It also helps the Slowbros get the one-shots going in, and will help you and your other players have a chance to beat Cinderace. So, EV stats, it just depends. It goes to your preference. It doesn't have to be what I'm showing, but just giving you the idea of how you should probably set it up. But of course, like I say, you can max up your special attack, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter how you're gonna go against Cinderace. EV stats does matter, but of course, it also depends on your preference. I mean, it doesn't have to go to special attack, you can always go to defense and go from there, but everything's just all open waters for you, if you want to put it that way. And then of course with Dash Bun, pretty useful. Charm is pretty helpful against Cinderace. Howl is also another conditional. I was putting Helping Hand. Maybe you can go for that route if there's a Pokemon that has a good hit on special attack, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can always switch it out to, let's say, Rest, which is pretty useful to heal your Pokemon, and go from there. And of course with Whale Baked Body, it's actually pretty helpful against Cinderace, and Cinderace is also a fire type user, so Power Ball is going to be useless against Dash Bun. It's not going to even focus on using Power Ball against Dash Bun, so that's a good way of defending yourself against Cinderace. But it's mostly going to be a lot of support. It's not as helpful, but at least it's another tank or another wall, defense wall, physical wall, if you want to go from there. And then of course, like I say, setup, it's all up to you. Defense is always a focus, but it's up to you. You can always maximize whichever EV you want to put it at. It's whatever floats your boat. And then let's go ahead and move on to Toxapex, which, like I say, EV stats, it doesn't matter what I put. It's all up to you. Anything is helpful. I would probably recommend or tell you that probably having your defense go above 280 on base stats, or 280, which is, for arguing an example, 443 right now, that's its maximum. If it's above 280, that's good enough to go against Cinderace. But of course, probably go about 300, probably 320, somewhere around there to go against Cinderace, and you should be good to go. The most important thing about Toxapex is that it is Acid Spray. Knocks it down by 2 stats. Recover is also good. Iron Defense and Baneful Bunker, but of course, it just depends how you want to set up Toxapex moveset wise. Iron Defense is still useful. It makes it way harder for Cinderace to knock it out, especially if you don't have any Amaroks or any Pokemon that does Clear Smog, then you're gonna be having a lot of trouble, so probably go for Iron Defense to really, and then once you take a fair amount of damage, you can always recover, use Acid Spray, and go from there. It is, I'll be honest, it's actually a little bit harder without Slowbro. At least 1 or 2 Slowbros in the race, because without any of them, then you're gonna be having a hard time going against Cinderace, because not as many Pokemon has any way to actually put a huge amount of damage to Cinderace, but Slowbros. I mean, that's where I'm seeing it as. But, I mean, there could be other options. Maybe Slowbro's not always the one. Who knows? Probably Slowking. And then the next one is gonna be Espathra. Like I say, item doesn't matter. If it's whatever floats your boat. Ability Opportunist does matter, because when Cinderace does bulk up, then Espathra will take the opportunity to copy the stats that the opposing Pokemon has and have its own effect. So it's going to have its attack and defense. which is pretty useful. It will keep Espethra alive, especially where its stats are going 156. The most important thing is to use Feather Dance, Luma Crash to also do another hit on special defense by 2. Roast to recover, Parade Go, have it max up to 8 power points, 8 PP. And then Reflect, which is another useful thing so that you don't have to deal with a lot of physical damage. And not only that, it doesn't really do too much, maybe with when Cinderace uses the ability to notify all abilities and stats changes. But I don't know if that applies to Reflect, but it just depends how everything will go. I mean, I just have to see how the match plays out and see if the Reflect wears off because of Cinderace's notifying effect. But yeah, we can also, let's take a look on Slowking if you want to go there. I mean, as you can tell, the difference between Slowking and Slowbro is the base stats, but they're actually the same exact thing. As you can tell, the only difference is that Slowbro has defense of 110, whereas Slowking has a base stats of 80, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, we can go ahead and check out Slowking, for example, even though it's pretty much that way. You can probably say, we can set it to bold, and then this is what you get, 284. It's still good enough. The only thing is that you have to do the same kind of setup as Slowbro. Do store power, nasty plot, and you can go with slack off. Go for that setup, and you should be good to go. And then probably raise its HP higher, and then give it a little boost on that, or you can just go ahead and do this, you know, to make Slowking a little bit into the finisher side of it, because HP it's still high enough. It doesn't really need that much, but if you want to go for the Slowking route, you can, or if you want to, you know, keep yourself alive, then you can go for the Slowbro route. Go to the same kind of nature I just did. Bold nature helps increase its defense, and you can say it just varies if you want to go for HP, but if you don't want to go to HP, probably go for, I would say go for maybe 100 there. Then let's see, it could actually tell you how much you can max it up. You could go like that, and then you should still be fine. Slowbro is just meant to stack up. Go from there. Of course, that's how everything will work. I would say probably use this team builder so that you get the idea of how every Pokemon will work. There are some suggestions on how you can set the Pokemon up competitively and see where all that goes. It doesn't show you much on how you can deal with terror rates, but at least to the very best, you can figure out what the base stats would look like and which Pokemon you want to go for. But I will actually do a video on each different Pokemon when I get the chance. I mean, we do have about 2 to 3 days left with Cinderace, and then the next one is, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be either a Slowpoke or a Slowbro from the Galar region. So when that comes, I will probably do a video of it, but there is a higher chance that I may not because I will be moving out. But if I do happen to get the chance, I will probably use my laptop and my game capture card connected to there, and then I'll probably do a little bit of a quick review of how we can deal with Slowpoke or Slowbro when it comes out. Other than that, I hope that you find all this useful. I hope that this website also helps you out in getting the ideas that you need to set up a good Pokemon against almost any raid other than Cinderace. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you have a nice, good new year. I hope that you enjoyed the rest of the new month of the year, 2023, and I hope that you're reaching your goals as well as mine, and I'll see you on the next video.